Hello everyone, welcome back to Cross/Game. EV here with another video. So part 2 of the trip down memory lane, where we're kind of reviewing old trailers from starting with Final Fantasy VII all the way up to the most current Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So just checking out what trailers were like back then and how they evolved over time, and it's just me giving my sort of impression and reaction as we watch each one. If you've not seen it yet, there's part 1 available to watch, which kind of dives into just Final Fantasy 7, 8 and 9, so the PS1 era. This video is the PS2 era. Please enjoy. So we're starting with the first Final Fantasy game on the PS2, which is Final Fantasy X. And straight off the bat, this is your story. It's the music. It's beautiful. I dare I say this is probably one of my favourite songs in the franchise, in the series. But this trailer also is one of my favourite. It just conveys, you can just see it's trying to convey something, like an emotion, almost spiritual, especially with the type of song that they chose. And again, you're seeing Yuna doing her dance, and the mood, the lighting is just very calming almost. And then you kind of cut to Tidus there being mesmerised by her dancing. So you can tell there's something special going on. There's something really great to look forward to here with this story. There he is. But the trailer gives nothing away, and I think that's the beauty of it. It just gives you something to look forward to. Yeah, that's beautiful. And then we cut to a bit of the action.
This started with Sin.
And yeah, they mentioned Sin, and I think what you'll notice is Sin is never... You don't get to see him really in the trailer, so it doesn't spoil anything there. He gets referenced again, but no one knows what's going on. Who is Sin? What is Sin? The music though. Final Fantasy X just had it. It just had great pacing and this great ability of telling a story where you get so sucked in. Like, it's near enough impossible not to. Every single character, including Komari, just has this aura around them, and they fulfill a part. But yeah, that's Final Fantasy X. It's just, the water-based Final Fantasy, as I call it. Yeah, 5 out of 5. That's a 5 out of 5 trailer. Next up we have Final Fantasy XI. Oh no, the one no one kind of talks about very much because it's MMO. But I can talk about it because I played 6 years of this torture. But dare I say that Final Fantasy XI left a lasting impression. It was, you think Dark Souls and Demon Souls and all the Souls-like games were hard. This was hard. And this trailer kind of, apologies for the quality, it's really bad, but it gives you a very quick overview of how huge these maps were. And it kind of just poses that question around, online gameplay, like why play alone? And I think it's a good question, and I think Square did a really good attempt at it. It was very, very different to obviously the other Final Fantasies, and I think Square knew that not everyone would take to it. Not only that, it's just a very hard game to play. And takes a lot. It's a very time-consuming experience, but overall very rewarding. That's I think key to Final Fantasy XI. But it was their first attempt at doing something, you know, where players played online. And yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. But this trailer, very quick, very simple, just conveys what it was. 4.5 out of 5. It's a Final Fantasy game in the end of the day. And now we go to the last installment, or the last Final Fantasy game on the PS2, which was Final Fantasy 12, towards the end of the PS2 life cycle. And here, this trailer just really showcases how big the world of Final Fantasy 12 really is, and what Square was trying to convey at the time. Pow! And you could just get hit in the face with it. It's a grand scale orchestral experience. Final Fantasy 12 was meant to hit you hard. Yeah. It's meant to almost be overwhelming. Oh no, Vaughn, the not main character of the game. The funniest thing is when I hear this music, all that comes to mind is Vagrant Story, because it's obviously in that world, but based in the same universe as Vagrant Story. Even the characters, the way they're drawn, they literally look like the Vagrant Story characters, which is awesome. So you can really tell there's a connection there. But this was meant to be, you know, more of a political drama. Often people compare it that it was meant to be like a Star Wars sort of game, like where the story, you know, was meant to flow in a Star Wars sort of way. I generally can't see it, but it was what it was, and I fully enjoyed the Final Fantasy experience that it was. The battle was it was something to get used to, but once you got around it, then it was great. Obviously, when you get really a hold of the gambits, then all of a sudden you don't even need to do anything anymore, because the game just almost automatically plays itself. But the story was good, you know. The characters, obviously Balthier and his partner Fran. This is obviously a trailer where they're introducing these characters to bring a little bit of hype, so you get to know who the story sort of is surrounded around. It's a very long trailer. This might have been even the release trailer in Japan, to be fair, because it almost feels like they're showing too much. But again, it doesn't give anything away. I would question sometimes whether showing all the characters before the game comes out is a good idea, because in the end of the day, why not leave something for us to explore, to find out for ourselves as we play the game. It's often regarded as one of the weakest Final Fantasy games, but it gets worse. I still enjoyed it. I loved the music, I loved the character design, I love the game in general. Obviously the story is probably one of the weakest ones, but I still enjoyed it for what it was. And again, I'm a Final Fantasy fan, what can I say? I think I gave this a 4.5 out of 5 for what it is. So, and lastly, I have an honourable mention of the PS2 era, Kingdom Hearts. Now, this is a very tricky trailer. Amazing trailer. One of the best trailers of the PS2 era, in my opinion. But you see all this text popping up on screen? This goes on for a minute. The trailer is 3.5 minutes, near enough. No, longer than 3.5 minutes. and for 1 minute of those 3.5 minutes, it's just text with this beautiful melody, obviously the Kingdom Hearts main track in the background, which kind of gives you a sense of wonder and almost adventure. Makes you think what's going on, what's all this cryptic Nomorian text, as they says. Tetsuya Nomura, if only anyone could peek into your brain. But yeah, all very cryptic. What the hell's going on? And then you're introduced for the first time to Sora. Dare I say that whenever anyone watched this trailer, they didn't really have a big expectation around it, but I think, let's just say, it sells itself like 50% because it's from Square Enix, who was the powerhouse of RPGs at the time. But I think what people were a bit miffed or confused by is the gameplay, the battle system, which is nowhere near anything like remote and any of the other Final Fantasy games, so everyone was a bit like, oh, this is a bit different. But little did they know that Kingdom Hearts would captivate the hearts of so many gamers, and it's got such a big cult following. Bigger than some of the Final Fantasy games for sure. I think the story is incredible, especially Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. This was obviously a big thing, Disney being a part of a game, which, a collaboration between Square Enix and Disney, or Squaresoft at the time and Disney, is a big thing. It's kind of like the equivalent of Spider-Man being in a Marvel movie when he did. And then obviously on top of that, you get the Final Fantasy characters mixed in as well. So it was a big mishmash of different stories and different characters. And if you're a fan of Disney, you're a fan of Square Enix, or you're a fan of Final Fantasy, you get a little bit of everything in this. The Nightmare Before Christmas. It's definitely a game that has a lot of heart. You can see the passion in it. The way Square brought to life all the Disney worlds and allowed Sora to explore each individual world, and you get to relive those stories in a short sort of burst. Traversing through worlds is just such a great idea. And then obviously the overarching theme of darkness and heartless and locking the worlds away from darkness, keyblades. It's a great story. This is a 5 out of 5 trailer, just the music alone, but it just conveys a sense that there's something special here, and I think many of you would agree. And that was it. That's the PS2 era for Final Fantasy games. I hope you enjoyed that. I have another video. Well, actually, I have another 2 videos because we still have the PS3/PS4 era, because we only had one Final Fantasy on PS3, or one main title anyway. So look forward to that 3rd video, and then there's a 4th one still to come, which is just PS5 and from there onward. So please look forward to that. Please like, share and subscribe. It would really help the channel if we could grow our subscription count to at least 100 by the end of the year. I'm at 27, I believe, so I really would love your support to dedicate more time to this channel. Would be lovely. See you on the next video.